Welcome to Life in the Fast Lane with myself and Matt Tift. Actually, it's Matt Tift and myself because this is technically your show. I'm just a co-host on it.
Well, I mean, if you read the underneath the subtitle correctly, it does say Matt Tift and Keith Miger. So you're not wrong.
No, I correct it. How are you going to argue with me when I'm agreeing with you? You and Hillis are so good at that.
Because it's fun.
Dude, so I just got done doing a show actually with Mark from Love Is Blind, and
what's his last name?
Netflix.
Mark Netflix from Netflix's show.
Yeah.
Love Is Blind. Cuevas. It's Cuevas.
What'd you call me?
Cuevas.
Oh, Cuevas. Mark Cuevas. Well, see, the only thing is, like, everybody knew who he was, so thanks for calling me out. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, one of the two people in the company is going to be able to announce it correctly.
That's true. That's true, but that's you. Don't call me out. What are you drinking? What was that?
Water. Water.
What kind of water?
This is actually just a cup that's holding my water from my faucet at home.
Oh, so you're not drinking like Core.
I also have,
because we're gonna have that discussion today too. So we got a lot. We got a lot to talk about. We're probably gonna go run over a little bit tonight. I would imagine. Do you have a window open, Matt?
No, but it's very sunny. I can go close that at the break.
It's just I would. It's
now if you'd like.
No. You actually, take your time.
What we'll do is hang on. We're going to start with this. So Keith, we're going to talk about something that you love to talk about.
Baseball.
And that is baseball.
Yippee!
Baseball back. We had our first fully attended game in Texas. We had Carlos Santana sadly beat up on the Indians. There's a lot of stuff going on. So take us through the first couple of days of baseball real quick while I go close my windows.
It's been horrible. It's been absolutely horrible. If you're an Indians fan.
Actually, wait, before I go, just have to announce I no longer work at the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company. I work at the Michael Scott Paper Company.
Oh, you switched sides. You went to Michael Scott. I do like the shirt, though. I like the shirt a lot. Oh, it's just me. All right. So if you're a Cleveland Indians fan, you're probably panicking a little bit or trying not to panic or trying to talk yourself out of panicking. And I would suggest you don't panic just yet because things are getting kind of not good, in all honesty. So,
wait, so why would they not panic?
Why should they not panic?
Yeah, you just said they should not panic. So why would you not panic?
Because it's 4 games. I mean,
it is 4 games, but I'm just going to play devil's advocate here because I love the Indians. I love the tribe. But you got Shane Bieber, and I texted you a picture of this last night. And it was Shane Bieber, and he's in a Bugatti, and he's in a crappy little shack, like a torn down shack.
Yep.
It's Shane Bieber with the Indians. And so my problem is You got him. You got Jose Ramirez. You got a couple good people in there. I'm sure with Tito that this team is going to turn around at some point during the year. They always do, especially the summer stretch. They seem to always get it back going, right? But what scares me is this is the first time in many years. Normally, they end up being a wild card team, right? Or at
Right.
least in contention. And this is the first year that the White Sox are actually really trying to be good. I think the Royals will be decent.
That is true.
And then the Tigers and the Indians are going to suck. So the problem is that you don't have a year in which everybody sucks. We've gotten away with that the last 2 years. This is the first time that you have a few teams that are going to be at least decent.
The thing is that we shouldn't have lost to Detroit. We shouldn't have lost the series. I mean, we did win the last game against them. Fantastic. The bats came alive, whatever. We should not have lost to Detroit. And I just think that with what we have going on, dude, Santana, you're starting to see that all these people that the fans used to complain about, like Santana, you're starting to see their key pieces of the team. They were. Take Lindor out. I don't think Lindor matters.
I love Santana, though.
I mean, so did I. He got a standing ovation today.
He should.
Absolutely, that's what I told Tyler. I said, absolutely, he should get a standing ovation. He probably would have stayed if we would have paid him. And the thing is, like, the whole thing you said with Shane Bieber is actually kind of funny. The whole, Bugatti and Shaq. It's like that. I mean, he is an ace pitcher. He's great, and he's repping the C. The problem is the team going to have his back? And I just don't think they will with what we have now. And Tito has his work cut out, man. Like, I mean, this is not something that you're going to see something to be able to – we had superstars before. Now we have a few. Do you know what I mean? Like, we got Bieber. We got J-Ram. Perez smacked a home run. So, but you're going to have to see people step up. Players step up that didn't have to step up in previous seasons. They could be mediocre, and you would have the Lindors carrying them away. You'd have Santana. You would have, J-Ram. You would have these people, Bieber, Kluber, all these people carrying the team. It's not like that anymore. The mediocre players that we had, they now need to step up because they're the all-stars of the team, and that's saying something.
Who was the dude that we saw that was absolutely losing his shit on TV with the caller that came in saying he was scared because it was one game from the first.
Dude, that's Bruce Drennan. Are you kidding me? That's Bruce Drennan.
I couldn't think of his name.
I was so happy when I watched that. I was like ecstatic because that went viral, dude. Like it was it was on MLB Network.
It's on everything.
Dude, it was beautiful, though, and he handled it like a champ because he basically called the guy an idiot. And that's what I'm talking about, though. Fair-weathered fans. Huh?
Several times he called him an idiot.
Which was great. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear someone call somebody a jackass when they're being a jackass. Well, you cannot decide a team's fate from 4 games, from 2 games, and you sure as hell can't do it from 1.
But I do think that there are valid points to the concern being that you don't have the big time players. Maybe it's just that you don't have the big name players anymore. Maybe that's why people are freaking out because you don't have the big name players of Santana. You don't have Lindor in there. You don't have, by the way, Carrasco. He was just in my Instagram live. So love that dude. Love Cookie. Wish him the best with the Mets. That guy's awesome. But you don't have guys like that are in there that maybe weren't the biggest, highest paid players. Maybe they weren't the best players in the world, but I feel like those guys were key locker room guys. They're key momentum guys. They're guys that could bring back a team, whether it's them in their play or maybe something from their leadership and their veteran, just caliber of those players that they knew how to get through situations. The thing that scares me about the Indians right now is we haven't had a team this young in a long time. And we went through a couple of bad years before we got Tito and before we turned the ship around. But we haven't had an Indians team that is this young in a while. So I think the freak out comes that we've been so used to at least being decent to getting to the playoffs, to getting close in there. Really the first time that you're in a rebuilding process a little bit because you have a lot of new prospects, you have a lot of new draft picks, you have a lot of new AAA guys coming up. This is the first time you really have to say, okay, we have to take a step back here and we're going to have to wait maybe a year, maybe 2 years before they're decent again. So I'm always a Cleveland Indians fan through and through, but I'm not expecting anything from them this year.
But the thing is okay, fine, so don't. You know what I mean? Like don't. Someone put Matthew, do you really have to clarify that Patreon isn't an OnlyFans? LMAO?
We do, because when it's paid for content like that, and
He said we do.
we do, because
We do.
when we have Keith on here, we got to keep him in check.
I have an OnlyFans.
I mean, sometimes when we go past 8 o'clock, but we're going to do today. You don't know what happens when we get a little bit past prime time here. We get to start to go in Adult Swim time period here. So
that's what I'm saying. Adult Swim. Speaking of cartoons, I have the best news for you and your weird, sick fantasies. Powerpuff Girls is having a live action show.
Not interested.
Really? It's got to be only anime?
Not interested. Better be cartoon.
You're not interested a little bit in it? I am, kind of.
Nope. Not interested. The only live.
Do you want me to? Off air, do you want me to send you the time and the link?
No. The only live action cartoon I've ever liked was Scooby Doo, and when they went to the spring break one, they went to that the roller coaster theme park. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the Scrappy one, right?
Yeah, it's like the first Scooby Doo movie, like live action, real person.
Yeah, Freddie Prinze Jr. was in
it. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Velma took her glasses off, and then she flipped her hair around, and she was insanely hot.
So okay, now you're doing it. So are you excited for this?
I am legitimately excited for the Powerpuff Girls for their live action thing. Dude. All right, you're telling me that if you look at Sailor Moon, right, and you're like, oh, for a cartoon, that's like, I wonder what a real person would look like.
Wait, who?
And then you're like, okay, cool. Like, you used to love the Powerpuff Girls, right?
But who did you say? Sailor what?
Sailor Moon. You don't know who Sailor Moon is?
No. Who is that?
I actually, I don't know what it is. I just know that she's a skimpy dress anime chick. So that's all I got. I was trying to compare. I forgot you were born 7 years ago. You don't know any of the stuff I know. Which is like from the night. All right, listen. No, hold on.
You were saying that while I'm drinking a 1970s diet soda.
You just discovered it 2 weeks ago.
1 week.
Whoa, that's even better. 1 week. No, I have homework for you though, and you can tell me to watch something, but I legitimately want you to watch something. I'm serious. Mm-hmm. I want you to get Hulu Plus, not yet a sponsor, and I want you to watch the show Perfect Strangers. It is an 80s and 90s sitcom, but dude, I'm telling you, it is the funniest show you will ever watch. Dude, if you like just stupid funny, you will love this show. And it always has I realized something too. All 90s shows has a message. They teach you some kind of value, but it's never till the music starts. And it's always at the end of the show. So all this crazy stuff happens, and they try to teach you a lesson. As soon as the music starts, you know it's going to hit you in the feels.
So I legitimately need to watch that, is what you're saying?
Yes.
What if I told you I legitimately do not care?
Okay. Are you having a bad day, or because you only texted me twice today, which is odd, and then you didn't call me at all. I've been
busy. I'm sorry. No, I do agree though that 90s shows actually had some meaning or something funny or whatever with it. But yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to insult you too much there. Did I hurt your feelings? Do you need it?
No, I'm okay. I'm fine.
Cry, baby.
I'm not crying. You're crying. So what do you want to talk about? Because actually, this is what I said. I sent Matt a text at 9 this morning, and I said, Matt, what are some shows?
10 because you never. Keith, one thing you got to know about Keith. Keith never sends or answers anything before 12:45 because that's about the earliest Keith starts processing. The blood sugar comes up. He starts going, reacting. He starts rolling at that point. Below them, it's just like this. It's this carcass that does not work. I'm not saying it doesn't work, but he doesn't respond, doesn't do anything. So I've just learned, basically, do not contact Keith before 12:30, or maybe I should give him the leeway and say, don't talk to him before 9:30 Pacific time.
9:30. I hate you so much. So I sent him a text message, and I'm like, hey, do we have show topics for today? Or I'm like, hey, do you have any show topics? And your response was, yeah, I'll get them to you later. Nothing else after that. So I'm like, okay, cool. That wasn't an order. I was just asking, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then we went on, and then you said something else. We won't talk about it. And then you said something. And I was like, I guess I should have known from there, that you were having like a super bad day.
Not
Because
bad.
normally you're funny-ish.
Not bad. Just busy. But I do actually have topics for today. I really do.
It would have been great if you would have shared them.
Well, I'm about to share them with you right now because every time you have topics, you always text me and say that, oh, I'm not going to tell them to you until we do the show so you can get a live reaction.
Payback's a bitch.
Yeah, sure is, bud. Okay. Well, on that note, we're going to talk about the thing that was probably the biggest news in sports today, and that was Sam Darnold.
Yeah, I heard he plays for what? Colorado Rockies.
Yeah. He, the worthless quarterback from the New York Jets is now going to be the worthless quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And after his worthless coach Adam Gase got fired after he did absolutely nothing and was worthless. So,
Was this article from ESPN or were you reading verbatim? Did you freeze?
Yeah, I did. It was not from ESPN. It was not from ESPN.
Well, was that an article you wrote? Are you vlogging now? Are you
No,
doing your own blog?
No. This was, well, ESPN did not say the worthless parts in there, but they did say that he was traded and that stuff happened, and the Panthers also confirmed it. I'm just putting in the worthless parts in there.
Oh, why not? So he's worthless. So why is he worthless? Let's break that down. Why is he a worthless?
So he comes in, and this actually goes back to my hatred for Colin Cowherd, to be honest with you. With the Baker
For who?
Colin Cowherd from Fox Sports 1.
Everybody hates that guy. If you don't hate him in unison, you're a piece of crap. Go ahead.
Exactly. So Colin Cowherd is always saying that Sam Darnold was supposed to be the better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. I still think he stands by that statement, even though I don't understand because Baker Mayfield goes and brings the Browns a playoff win, still says he's a bust, still says whatever, still says not a franchise quarterback, all this stuff, and will still go and defend Sam Darnold. I don't know if they're cousins. I don't know what they do behind the scenes. But
are they lovers?
Some weird relationship with that. But anyways, they're out of the same draft class, and no matter what they do with Sam Darnold, he has done nothing with the Jets. He sucks, and I know the Jets suck too. Maybe he'll be okay with a better team. The Panthers are not a better team, by the way. I live here in Charlotte. They suck. Cam Newton has one good year. Otherwise, they've been about as good as the Browns historically. And the Lions, maybe Lions. Yeah, probably about that line.
Oof. That's deep.
It is. But Sam Darnold is – so he's out of the same draft class. Baker Mayfield gets all the hate from that. But I do not understand because he is a playoff winning quarterback. Sam Darnold has done nothing. He doesn't do anything. And then I will say, though, I think he'll be in a better situation down here because at least Matt Rule will not ridicule him for being I remember Adam Gase, his rookie year – didn't even say his name. I forget what number he was. I think he was 12. And he said, and Sam Darnold got mono. Mono sucks. I had it when I was racing a few years ago, and I got sidelined with it. And, of course, you can't get hit in the spleen because it'll explode. You can die. And Adam Gase comes on the podium and says, QB number 12 will not play this weekend because he has mono. Like, just the complete biggest jackass ever. And I don't know if it's because of Adam Gase, who I hated. He had every single piece of ego you could possibly find with no reason for ever having a single piece of ego because the guy sucked as a coach. To me, he is worse than Hugh Jackson because he decided like he would act like he is good. That's another topic is Hugh Jackson. We'll get into that later this week. But I can't imagine how much that had to make Sam Darnold feel like a piece of crap because your coach is a piece of crap. So every player in that organization probably felt like crap, which is probably why they played like crap. So, anyways, he's coming to Carolina. Teddy Bridgewater, I don't know what they're going to do with him, if it'll be a quarterback competition or what they're going to do. But anyways, Carolina Panthers football, tickets should be cheap this year. I might go check a game out if they play Cleveland. Don't know if they do, but tickets should be cheap if I want something to do on Sunday.
Wow, that hurt a little bit. So Colin Cowherd, let's just get this out of the way. Why do you hate or do you not like him just because of his stance? Like he's purely against Cleveland. It doesn't matter what sport it is. If it has anything to do with Cleveland, the man hates it. Like just hates it. Why? Why? What is his beef with us? What happened? What happened to that man's childhood? I think something happened when he went to Cleveland one day. Like somebody may have spit on him or kicked him or treated him like the hoe that he is. I don't know what it was, but it was bad.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't understand either because when LeBron was here, now I know you're not the biggest LeBron fan, but still, then LeBron James would get ridiculed by Colin Cowherd. Now that he's with the Lakers, best player to ever play in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just dude, his hatred for Cleveland is real. Like, it is on another level, and I don't understand. What did we do to him? Like, I feel as a Clevelander, I need to know what we did to this poor piece of crap. So that way, I mean, I don't know if I'd apologize. I probably wouldn't at this point, but I need to know what Cleveland did to him.
I don't. So Colin had a segment when two NASCAR drivers got in a fight, and I don't know what he did against NASCAR or something like that too. But there was the fight came out, and fighting's a normal thing in NASCAR. Like, it doesn't happen all the time, but it happens sometimes. It's like hockey, you just square up and you figure it out. Now, do too many PR people and pit crews and stuff like that get involved in pull away drivers? Absolutely. They should be able to fight until one goes to the ground and then you break it up. That's fine. But instead, like, now you have your PR guy come in there and like pull you back and then punch the other driver. Like, it's stupid. Just let the guys fight. Anyways, that's a different subject.
We'll talk about that too.
We will talk about that. But in hockey, the guys square up and you let them go off. Well, Colin Cowherd goes on a spiel to say NASCAR and its Southern culture where they got to see an eye for an eye. And this, I'm just like, screw you, dude. Like, if you're in anything, any professional sports, you don't think a wide receiver and a cornerback go and shove with each other? Like, that happens every single game. You don't think a baseball player, when they go and hit a home run, stares down the pitcher? They do. Every single sport has that, but he seems to have it out for these people or segments or whatever it is that he does not like, and he attacks the crap out of those people. And that is the only way he stays relevant, is pissing off people because nobody can like him.
Makes you mad, right?
It does.
Noah McPeak says, who do you predict to win the championship, Cleveland or Cincinnati?
Oh, for the AFC North? I'm going to go Cleveland.
I'm going to go Cleveland, too, because then actually somebody cared about me for a second and asked me that question, too. So I'm going to – thanks, Noah. You're my number one fan now. I love you.
He said, to be honest with that one, I do think Cincinnati will be very strong with Joe Burrow moving forward. I really do.
Dude, let's clear the air on this, too, real quick.
Okay.
I don't hate Joe Burrow. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's going to grow into it. I think he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. I think he is great. I'm just a Clevelander. So, of course, I'm going to talk trash about Cincinnati. I am Cleveland.
I honestly felt bad for the guy last year because his O-line did not care whatsoever. They did not care about protecting probably the best college quarterback coming out in maybe 10 years, something like that. I mean, Joe Burrow is absolutely fantastic of a quarterback. He is a great guy. He's a leader. And this is coming from a Browns fan. I don't hate the guy. You can't hate the guy. He wants to win. He wants to lead. You can't fault him for that.
Right. You're getting a lot of chatter. So someone wants to know, Darnald or Dalton, which quarterback pickup was the worst?
Dalton still went to the postseason a bunch. I mean, they never won, but he at least made it there. I just don't see Sam Darnold going that far with anybody, really. And you're going to a crap team. Like, at least the Bengals, when they had Dalton, you had A.J. Green. I mean, that helped carry him. You had who was their running back then? Bernard, was it?
I'm not sure.
Okay, well, anyways, they had a great running back. They had a great defense. They had A.J. Green. I mean, they had a team built around them. The reason I say Andy Dalton will be better in the history books is because he still made it to the playoffs because he had a better team around him. The Panthers suck.
No, 100%. I agree with you on that one. I think
I do like their hiring in Matt Rule as a head coach because he is a very good head coach. It was a good hire by them. They will get better over time, but it's going to be a 5-year rebuilding process for them, just like it was for the Browns forever. But you know what I mean, from Hugh Jackson to now.
Yeah, Noah McPeak says, Burrow is top-tier talent. He's good, but remember that he's in his second to third year. Dalton should be with Cleveland as a reliever, as a backup. I don't know if I'd want Dalton here as a backup, though. That's the only thing, because I think we have a decent – I think we're okay. I don't know. That's a tough one, honestly.
Well, is Keenum back again?
Is what?
Casey Keenum. Is he back again?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't think we really need
Well,
Dalton.
and
I don't
Keenum
know.
in the
It's
system
tough. It's a tough call.
because Keenum is already he's been in the system in the Viking system with Stefanski. He knows the plays. He knows. I mean, Baker goes to him, and they coordinate on the sidelines with each other. I mean, he doesn't have to play; just takes reps with the practice squad or second stringers, and he does his job that way. I mean, it's not a bad gig for him. And I think if Baker got hurt, he could come in and do a decent job. Is he going to be a franchise quarterback? Absolutely not. But would he do a good job? Yes, absolutely. So there's no reason to bring somebody else in there. But Keith, I do need to ask you about this
Yeah.
because there's been a lot of stuff coming out in Cleveland media about this whole thing with the extension from the ownership from the Browns and Hugh Jackson. Have you been seeing this?
Yeah.
What's your take? Because I don't understand this at all. And
I don't understand it either. I don't understand what he has to do with anything.
so
I try to read into it. I just don't. Why is he even in conversation anymore?
So I reached out to Hugh Jackson on Twitter saying that he should come on our show and speak his piece because this whole thing makes no sense. Because I mean, the facts are that he went 131 and that he is showing a paper from the Browns organization from D and Tom and D Haslam saying that they picked up an extension of the contract. Now, I don't know how things work if you can just buy out someone's contract and hire somebody else, or how that works in the NFL. I don't know.
I have no idea.
However, we know how things went down. We know 0-16, then 1-15. Those are not good stats. And he's saying the whole deal was rigged against him and everything, and that the organization was a mess. I do not doubt that the organization was in a mess because it was. I think they finally got good people with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield as a core group to build off of. Nick Chubb, of course, and
Absolutely.
Jarvis and Myles Garrett. But
Dude, we have the best roster in NFL right now.
I know, but it came from that group. So
Sure.
I don't know where this is coming from, but I feel like it went from being a hey, I'm supporting the Browns because he put out a thing saying go Browns when they're making their playoff run, stuff like that. Then all of a sudden he's trying to slander them. It's like when he had success, now he's trying to fight back. Maybe that's not the case. I don't know, but I think he should have some outlet to come and speak his piece on this and speak his mind and come on here and say it. Or speak.
I'd welcome it. Dude, let's get this. Let me clear the air on this too. I don't hate that man. I don't have any ill will towards him anymore. I don't think he was right for the job. I don't think he was right for Cleveland. I don't think he should be a head coach.
No.
I mean, if he wants to try something else, fine. I just don't think the man should ever be a head coach of any NFL team again. But that doesn't mean he's dumb or he's stupid or he doesn't know what he's doing. You got to remember, there was a lot of things that probably had his hands tied at certain areas that he was trying to work with.
Had zero talent. That team had zero talent.
You're right. You're right. I mean, well,
it's a very hard thing to get through that people forget is that team had no talent. Joe Thomas goes on the air and will tell you that team, when they went 1-15 that one game, they partied like it was the Super Bowl because they said they had no business winning a single game in there. So I don't know. That's it's a very interesting thing to me. But
no, it is.
One other sports thing I want to get into, and that is today, the Texas Rangers opening day was the first game in over a year in any capacity that had full seating capacity. And I want to talk about that because I think we are starting to, of course, this is Texas we're talking about. We know laws and restrictions have opened up a lot more there. But I do think between everything we're hearing across many outlets that this is going to be the start of something, hopefully of a rebound, and hopefully it's a safe way to where we can keep on doing it. But I know it's getting a lot of controversy, a lot of flack for it. But at the same time, we got to talk about it because this is the first time that Major League Baseball has let fans back in, but also this is the first time we've had a packed stadium to full capacity packed stadium since the coronavirus pandemic hit. And I don't know why, but for me, when I looked at the picture and the video of it, it kind of gave me goosebumps because like, wow, this is weird. And you never think that it's weird before this. You never think, okay, you just think it's another baseball game, another opening day. But there's something about it that's just like, wow, hopefully it's a turning for the good that we can get back to normalcy in it. But it was the first time seeing it. And my take on it is I hope that it's done in a way that's not a super spreader. I hope that everything is okay coming after it because I really, really want to see full events, full sports back. You know, here in North Carolina, we're back at 100% capacity in most places. No more curfew here. We're getting back to where we should be in a lot of things, but I do want to see what happens from this. But it is encouraging to me that at least we're seeing one place do it. And right or wrong, it's just nice to see something look like normal.
Right. Well, again, I agree with you 100%. But I have one topic I just want to talk about before we go on break, real quick, and it's because I do love the game of baseball, probably to a fault. I love everything about it. But and it has something to do with the Angels. For the first time since the implementation of the designated hitter, since that rule became a thing, Ohtani in the same inning, dude. The same inning threw a 101 mile an hour pitch. So he hit 101 miles an hour, 101 mile an hour on the radar. Then turned around, dude, I kid you not, and smacked a 450-foot home run.
Hell yeah. That's
what I'm saying. I love this guy. I just, and I know he doesn't play for Cleveland, but he is, dude, he's exciting. He should be the face of baseball, dude. Like, he is pitching, he's hitting, and he's hitting well, and he's pitching well. It's amazing. I love it. Because, I mean, dude, 101 miles an hour, turn around, next at bat, 450-footer. Come on.
What do you think about that? Because I feel like in the NFL, you have the quarterback who's evolved into a bit of a scrambler, obviously. You don't have just the pocket quarterback unless you're Brady. You have a bit more of a scrambler, so you have a little bit of a flex player in that spot. Lamar Jackson is half running back half the time, which is fine. That's his style of play. RG3 was that for a while. Aaron Rodgers wasn't very good at it. He's getting a little bit older, so he's more of a pocket passer now. But
sure,
you got guys like Baker who do the bootlegs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
In baseball, you have had, or like tight ends in football, instead of just being blocking tight ends, now they're like wide receivers. But in baseball, you have the DH. And I get the DH, but at the same time, the game as a whole would be a lot more exciting if you could have guys that could throw, then hit dingers. I mean, that would be so much more exciting to me if you could do both. Is it much more strenuous? Of course. Is it much more?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. But I do think, we keep on talking about how baseball is trying to change everything and do this and do that. And the DH has been a big conversation point for the last 20 years, ever since I remember going to my first ball game, like, why is he batting? What's the DH on there? My dad would explain it to me. Then I'd be like, okay, I don't understand between the American League and the National League, and I don't understand why the All-Star game determines who gets home field advantage. Still, that's stupid. But
what?
Yeah,
is that stupid?
Yes.
No, it's not. That makes the All-Star game worth something.
Yeah, I don't like it.
What? Wait a minute. You had to ask your dad about the DH, yet you're trying to explain NASCAR to me like it's some horrible kind of equation. I still can't figure out points and cups and who's racing this and Xfinity that, and we're trying to pull people up to this point. If Talladega Nights wasn't a documentary, I don't know what the hell's going on.
It's like you trying to explain the eggplant and the banana league and the cactus league all to me. I don't get it.
Well, for one, the eggplant, peach, and the water fountain aren't real, so those are just emojis you use when you describe me a lot. Gotcha. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some more stuff Matt wants to talk about and nothing I want to talk about. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Life in the Fast Lane with Matt Tift and myself. We were talking a little sports. Now we're coming back. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about one thing that I wanted to resolve that we were talking before the break there, and that is talking about the All-Star break with Major League Baseball because we're talking about the designated hitter league between the American League and the National League, and how in the National League, obviously, the pitchers go and they hit. And he's talking about what's his name?
Otani?
Yeah. So how he was pitching 101-mile-an-hour fastball, then turns around and hits a 430-some foot home run after.
50.
Fat ass. But the point being, so we're talking about different positions in baseball and other sports that have evolved, and it'd obviously be a lot more dangerous to have a pitcher go and be actually like a really good hitter in there. But it would be an interesting thing. We're talking about baseball changes and stuff that they've been doing. And one thing I talked about was the All-Star game and how I think it's stupid that the winner of the All-Star game is the home field advantage for the World Series. Now,
Sure.
He disagreed, but we talked off air for a second, and the point I made was I believe that they should adopt the NFL rule, which it does not go onto a game that some players don't, maybe no players on either team even played in, that decided the fate of the home field advantage. I believe that it should be the better record of the two determines the home field advantage for the game or for the World Series. That is my opinion. If there's a tie breaker, then it should go to who has the most runs over the year. And if that's a tie, you go to the hits. It's a very easy equation there, but I think that should be adopted because you very well could have the Indians against the Cubs and not one person from either team made it to the All-Star game.
Yeah, I mean, I just disagree with you. I think that they should be able to do it just the exact same way they're doing it. I think that if you win the All-Star game, you get home field advantage.
Why? What sense does it make? You can have players that don't even go in the same. It's not like so you really think? So I don't understand that logic because we're talking.
I'm just kidding because I agree with you off there.
If you did have that logic, though, I know you did. If you did have that logic, because people do, right? People do have that logic. So that'd be saying,
yeah.
Oh, I hate the Detroit Tigers. I can't stand them. There are division rivals, all that stuff. But then you go, oh, but Miggy's in there, so I'm going to go root for the American League because nobody from the Indians is in there. But I hope that he does good so that when it comes to the end of the season in the World Series, that we can have a shot at winning. That is stupid because you're then rooting for your rivals within your league to go win, even if your guys are not in it. And I have a problem with that because you should not be able to go root for the people that you typically have rivalries in there with. Instead of interleague play, you're actually rooting for the guys that you play against almost every single week in different series.
No, absolutely. You're 100% right. If they adopted something like that, then yeah. I mean, but I think baseball, I think the reason they do that, you got to remember there was a couple times where that wasn't the case. But I think they're trying to give the All-Star game meaning. You know what I mean? Because very rarely do you not make the All-Star game.
Yeah. And they are one of the only leagues that actually has meaning to an All-Star weekend. I will give them that.
Right. So, I mean, maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I do know that if I am American League, I'm going to root for my American League. If I'm National League, I'm going to root for my National League. I think they want it to have purpose. They want it to have some type of meaning. I guess it'd be like the same thing, for the Pro Bowl kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like whoever won the Pro Bowl, should get, I don't know. It's hard to do with football. You can't do home field advantage.
But this year, the Pro Bowl was played on Madden, so I don't know what you can say about that.
Yeah, what the hell?
All right, well, let's talk about some other sport real quick that we normally don't talk about, and that's basketball. Paul Pierce has made news today and last night. And I don't know if you saw this yet, but Paul Pierce and ESPN have mutually agreed to part ways because the dude was lit AF last night and did a full AGTV or IGTV or Instagram Live, whatever it was, of him playing with a bunch of girls twerking, playing poker, a bunch of girls twerking around him. He was completely blazed out of his mind. I think he was everything out of his mind. And so he decided to leave and part ways with ESPN. ESPN should have done that years ago. And I just think it's kind of funny that that it's even come to this, that he had to go that far, because him and A-Rod should not be in any commentary or analyst spot at all, because they both suck at it.
We talked about this. This is something we did talk about today. A-Rod was awful. And I was watching, but you got to remember, I was watching the Ohtani game. And I watched him get injured. I watched everything happen. I want to tell you something. I don't like Joe Buck either. I think he's a punk. I don't think maybe that's not true. I just don't think he has the talent. And I don't say, I'm not going to say I have the talent either. I don't think I have the talent to call games.
I like Joe Buck, but that's me.
God bless, I hate this guy. Like, I just don't like Joe Buck. His voice makes me mad. His Greek god chiseled face makes me mad. Like, his fake spray tan pisses me off. The way he conducts himself. What?
You wish you could be Joe Buck.
I don't want to be Joe Buck. I want to be the opposite of Joe Buck. I want to be good.
The opposite of Joe Buck is A-Rod.
No, the hell you say. The opposite of Joe Buck is an A-Rod. The opposite of Joe Buck is Hammy. Tell me that's not true.
It's not the opposite, but Hammy's way better.
It is. You have a crap Joe Buck, and you have an ace Hammy. An A-Rod is. But my point is that I think Joe Buck is scraping the bottom of the barrel. A-Rod is literally the mud the barrel sits on. Like, that's how bad A-Rod is. Every time I think about him, my stomach hurts, and it's not because he's a Yankee or was a Yankee. It was just because he sucks. This is him calling a game. Like, if me and you were gonna do a podcast together, this is him doing it with you. I'm better than you, Matt, because I did a podcast with Peyton Hillis 10 years ago. Yeah. And Matt's response to that is, "Oh, that's really awesome." And God bless Joe Buck for trying to carry it on. If you're trying to carry on some kind of conversation with this egotistical prick while he's trying to talk about a sport that he cheated in. But he's sitting there talking about, I do this better, I do that better. Well, if I was Ohtani, the dude couldn't pitch himself out of a wet paper bag. So don't ever compare yourself to Ohtani, you piece of garbage, and go back and keep cheating on J-Lo, you punk.
The thing I thought was hilarious in that broadcast was, so I think it was maybe it was the Angels. I forget who it was, but they hit a ball down to the third base line. It drops. The whole place is going nuts, and the commentators, they're freaking out. Everything's going awesome. A-Rod, yeah, well, he hit that over there, and like they're scoring, and it's like, and he did this, and blah 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 blah. It's like he is literally announcing a funeral while everybody is losing their shit, going excited as much as they want to be, and he's just going, and then I play for the Yankees. I mean, he is horrible. Like, I agreed with what somebody said in there, and that was on the primetime games, the nationally televised games, you should have one national commentator and one local commentator. That should be how they do it, so that you can actually see real talent from that team, like Hammy in there, to go on the broadcast and show how good they are. Because these national commentators, I remember the Indians game when they're in the wild card. They just talked about everybody else but the Indians, knew nothing about them, did not give two craps about the Indians, and that's how they did it the whole time. It was horrible.
And A-Rod hates Cleveland the way it is anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
absolutely.
He's never, ever, ever been a Cleveland fan. Never liked anything about Cleveland. But the point is that Cleveland doesn't like him because, dude, he was a cheater. Like, he was just flat out.
It's not just Cleveland. Nobody likes A-Rod. Nobody.
A-Rod doesn't like A-Rod. Like, I want you to think about that. He doesn't like himself. And you're right. When he announces a game, dude, I'd rather listen to my twins announce the game, and neither one of them completely speak, much like him, speak complete English. Like, I want you to think about that, dude. He is, I don't know, and they only gave him the job because he's A-Rod. Exactly. Like, somebody up there was some stupid executive that's sitting at a long table with a little cell phone in there and said, I got an idea. We're going to hire A-Rod, and we're going to let him take over, and we're going to have him co-host with Joe Buck.
You know what might be one thing is that he got his own show about fixing businesses and stuff like that, and I would not be surprised if he paid to be on there to get his name back out in the public.
Who, A-Rod? Mm-hmm. Dude, he was on Shark Tank, and it made me want to throw up. He was sitting there, and he's like, he's got his little pad and paper, and he's like, oh, yeah. Dude, that man hasn't made a financial decision for himself ever. So who the hell
He
would
has.
you? What?
He has. And he had to order Trent, and he had to order some other stuff too.
That's messed up. His agent, like that's I just don't understand. A-Rod is a household name because he was a Yankee.
Mm-hmm.
He was great, right? He was one of the best until you find out he was sticking needles in between his toes and his balls were shrinking. I mean, you got nothing else. His legacy's dead.
And then he goes and blows the cover on them and then criticizes them when he was the OG to do it.
Exactly. That's the problem I have with A-Rod is that he continued to bash people who were using roids until it came out he was using them. He's like, oh, well, I was doing it because I have this and that. And he made A-Rod is just a joke. He's a joke to the sport of baseball. He's a joke to announcing. I hate him.
Well, let's go to a guy who is a little bit more likable, but normally is not super likable, kind of confusing in there. But that's Aaron Rodgers. I guess he's going to be hosting Jeopardy tonight or sometime this week. And it came out again this past week that he wants to end his career with the Green Bay Packers. But much like a few years ago, he doesn't know if the team will reciprocate that and hire him back to be able to give a contract to finish his career, because he did say he wants to finish his career there. When you have Aaron Rodgers and you have wasted so many years around him, whether you like the guy or not, because he seems like an ass. I mean, he really does. But
he does. He looks like a Matt.
What? What'd you say?
I said you're right, Matt.
Well, it's just I don't understand. If you're the Green Bay Packers, you've had years and years and years to build something around him, because he is a fantastic quarterback. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Should have won more Super Bowls. But the scouting, the head coaches, at least they finally got rid of McCarthy. They've not done a good enough job to give him a chance to give. I think they should be at 3 Super Bowls by now, at least Super Bowl rings, more appearances than that. And I honestly think that he should be going for at least 5 appearances by now. But the organization has not done a good job in supporting him. And I do believe that he wants to honestly finish his career in Green Bay. I believe he wants to go break Brett Favre's records for Super Bowls in Green Bay. I believe he wants to do all that stuff. But it's interesting to me when you have a guy who is so talented like that, who is a long-term franchise quarterback like Brett Favre was for the Packers, that the organization does not want to completely reciprocate that and does not want to build around him when you are the Green Bay Packers.
I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, in all honesty, I'm not an Aaron Rodgers fan, and I'm definitely not a Packers fan. So, like,
So take the fandom out of it. If you have let's say it's Baker Mayfield, and he's a better Baker Mayfield, because Aaron Rodgers is better than Baker Mayfield as it stands now. Maybe he progresses and becomes better, but just track record, he is better. So what do you say in that? Take any fandom of it out. What's your take on that for a team that should have you back, that needs to have you back, but won't build around you? And the only chance he had was when he had Randall Cobb and Greg Jennings.
It's honestly a crappy situation, and I don't think he's handling it the wrong way. If that's what you're asking, I think he's doing the right thing. Let me out. If you're not gonna help, that'd be like you, dude. I mean, like, honestly, if you're an owner of a team, if you're sitting there saying, no, we're not going to continue to try to get better, we're not going to try to build around you or build a car around you or try to get the best parts or the fastest parts, or however the hell this works, we're not going to, eventually, yeah, they're going to ask to get let loose. I mean, that's just the real thing. If I continue Matt, if I continue to say, listen, we're going to try to take the podcast to the next level, we're not going to build it around you. We're going to build it around everything else outside of you, even though we're all on the same team. That's not going to make you feel like you want to come to work every day and try hard.
Yeah. Well, maybe we can try and figure it out by just while it lasts to go and ask them what they should do. I think the organization probably should, and their shareholders owned by people that's like a stock in them. It's kind of cool that they're owned by people. I do like that aspect. Going to Lambeau, touring it, that was really neat. But maybe what they should do before it goes away is go type it in on Yahoo Answers, because it's going away. You see that?
I will type it in on Yahoo Answers.
But did you see it's going away forever?
I did see that.
Sad. Because you know why it's sad? Because Yahoo Answers was worthless, because I came into the internet world after mainly MySpace had gone. I didn't have a MySpace. I just missed it because my mom wouldn't let me have one. But I missed out on Ask Jeeves because Ask Jeeves, Ask.com, Ask Jeeves. Apparently everybody used it, but when I started using it, it said Ask Jeeves is closed down. Well, then they had Yahoo Answers. Yahoo Answers didn't tell you anything. Yahoo Answers got replaced by Reddit, which at least told you something. You just had to read through everything to get to it. But so Yahoo Answers is down. Reddit is the new thing. Okay, so we're in cancel culture world. We're in everything is weird world. Everything is wrong world in the world. So Yahoo Answers is down. That's fine. It should have been gone years ago. But I get it. Where do you see virtual help coming from? Because there's virtual therapists, there's virtual doctors, there's virtual freaking everything. I think at some point you're going to be able to look down your wrist and say, hey, what is this? And it's going to tell you right there on your wrist, in your skin, what's going to be at some point in the future.
Skin?
But yeah, something like that. But Keith, you're older than me, so I want to get your honest perspective. So you've seen the generation of the internet and MySpace and all this stuff go through. Where do you see stuff like this going? Because you still have Google and things like that. But where do you see all this stuff going?
I mean, what is this what do you mean? The PlayStation 5 is like, you're there. I literally just hooked it up. My son was here. We were playing Ark on it. It looked like it was as real as could be. I mean, like I could have plucked a flower from the TV. Really? It was super realistic. So, I mean, like, they already have smart glasses. They have, like...
Well, those kind of failed, didn't they?
Huh?
Didn't those kind of fail? Like, they kind of fizzled out?
I don't know. Razer has one. They have these really cool ones that, like, you can hear music in there. I don't know. Like, dude, technology is not good. Like, you understand that, right? Like, the more technology evolves or whatever, the more we devolve.
Yeah.
Like, you understand, like, we started out writing in cursive, right? That's what you saw. Like, did you ever have to write in cursive in school, or are you too old, or too young for that?
Lattice and math and cursive and English, yep.
Okay, I want you to think about it. The earliest forms of writing were hieroglyphics, right? Do you realize in 2021 that we only talk in emojis? It's hieroglyphics, dude. We're devolving. We're going backwards.
Huh. I never thought about that.
Yeah, it's not good. And then Facebook and social media. Dude, social media is the worst thing that ever happened to human beings ever.
It is.
Like, it's not good, dude. Social media is not good for you. It's not good for your brain. It's not good for relationships. It's not good for anything. Like, social media is going to be the downfall of mankind.
Well, I talked about this with you with that Black Mirror episode, and I don't know if you've seen it yet, but for other people who have not seen it yet, go watch Black Mirror. I don't know what season it is, but it's about the social cloud. It is so true nowadays of what social media is, and it's fascinating to me because we live in a world where you can go into a meeting or go into an agency or whatever you're trying to do and talk with them, and you literally get judged off of how many followers you have. The amount of followers you have literally dictates how high up in society you are, right? And it's amazing to me that it's still progressing that way because it was supposed to be social. It was supposed to be this, but really you create a fake reality of what you are. And I've tried to, I like Twitter because I like to be sarcastic and I like to do this on Twitter. I like to do that kind of stuff, but like Instagram and all these other places, I enjoy it still, but it's not like I used to because it's not like it feels so fake compared to normal life.
It's just not good. Like, I'm telling you, nothing good comes from social media.
And
what good?
It is. I have to get better. The worst part about it is that I have to get better at it because I have to be able to go do more things. I have to be more of an influencer. I got to get better at the thing that I hate doing.
I think, I mean, listen, there's a difference between, I guess, social media influence. I don't know. I guess why, I don't know, dude. There's so many things are wrong with that sentence that you just said. And it's not that I get it. This is the life we live. We have to adapt, I guess. We have to evolve, if that's the word you want to use, to the next level. But if people literally live on social media, right? Like, have you ever seen the movie or read the book Ready Player One?
Yes.
Dude, that's what our life is becoming. That's what dude, when you spend more time on TikTok and Facebook than you do reading a book, that's an issue, dude. Like, and granted, if you look at my usage on my phone, it's disgusting. I don't even want you to see it. Like, I'll be embarrassed. I'll look at it. Let me see.
Let's compare it.
All right, let me look at it. It's bad, dude. It's not. Oh God, it's not good. Today, for instance, just today on social media, 3 hours and 36 minutes.
Okay, go to your week and what's your daily average on Okay, yep, I see. Okay, what's your average screen time per week? Like
13 hours and 16 minutes.
Like daily average is 13 hours.
No. That's my weekly average. I don't know how to see my daily average.
So go hit your thing that says screen time. There's day, then there's week, and then week shows your daily average over the last week.
Oh, there it is. Oh God, not good. So it's 3 hours.
Daily average is 3 hours.
3 hours.
That's actually really good. Mine's 5 hours, and most people tell me it's about 10 to 11.
The only thing is, it's awful. Did you have in that 3 hours? I could have read 2 books.
Yeah,
I could have done something to enhance my mind. Instead, I'm sitting there trying to figure out if I got any followers from this show.
Yeah. No, my social media, which
I didn't,
is 3 hours.
I don't know, man. It's not good. Like
every day. I have to quit doing that. Well, does that include YouTube? No, it does not. Crap. And it's Twitter. It's Twitter. That's what it is.
Okay, so the thing is it's 3 hours, 57 minutes on social, 47 minutes on game because I play League of Legends.
Wait. Hang on. You said 3 hours. I'm talking about daily average above that. What is your screen time average, like above on the top?
I don't want to tell you.
Not categories, but just on the top. What does it say?
I don't want to say anything. Damn. And this is the sad part. I'm down 20% from last week. My daily average is 6 hours and 38 minutes.
Okay. See, my daily average is 5 hours and 13 minutes. My social average is 2 hours and 59 minutes.
Oh my God. My social average is 6 hours and 6 minutes. My games, again, League of Legends, is 2 hours and 12 minutes. My entertainment is... What the hell am I doing? What do you mean? Social and games isn't included in entertainment?
I guess not.
Oh, God. So messages, 3 hours and 24 minutes. League of Legends Wild Rift, 1 hour, not yet a sponsor, 1 hour, 44 minutes. Twitter, 1 hour, 16 minutes. Facebook, 44 minutes. My Libby, which is like audiobooks, and I don't even want to tell you. 30 minutes. Oh.
But you know what's scary to me is I look at that number and go, oh, that's bad. I need to fix it. Then I go and try to fix it. You know what I do?
You looked up how to fix it. So now you're sitting on Google for longer because you're trying to look up how to fix it.
I switched from my phone to my laptop to either do work on my laptop or watch TV on my TV.
You're trying to cheat it. You can't cheat the system. You got to let it go natural.
That's the exact problem. What I'm saying is that if I don't do it on my phone, I'm doing it on a TV or that, like, I want to so badly. I want to throw my phone in a lake, and I don't want to see it. I want to have a pager or a flip phone, and I want to operate off of that for a month, and I want that to happen as soon as possible, but I can't. That's the problem, is that we've reached a point in society where 5 years ago you could, but now you cannot.
I couldn't have a pager with the friends I have. Dude, you would be blown. I would be at a payphone. I would need no. Dude, you have any idea how? No, I can't, bro. But that's cool.
But I mean, either way, like, I think 5 years ago you could take a break off of it, but now being a team owner, doing the stuff I do, trying to pitch sponsors, doing all this stuff, you have to be on the screen doing something, or else you're not being proactive at doing things. And you have to.
No, you're not wrong.
The race team, you have to show that from your personal side. You have to do all that stuff, and I don't know. You lived it. I didn't get to, but I wished that I really would have lived in the 90s and early 2000s and been old enough to remember it like that. Because
please stop.
What's that?
Just shut up.
No, but I mean, like,
I understand. Can you just say that I really wish I could have lived in the 90s? Just throw my age in it and be like, I wish I was old enough to remember when people used to go out to eat and talk. Like, I really don't want to. I don't want to talk about that right now.
I'm saying, like, just being able to go out, because I remember as a little kid being like doing all that stuff, going to the mall, and like places were cool. NASCAR and sports and stuff were so big because that was the thing to do. You had 40 channels rather than 5 million. I just think it's obviously awesome, the things we can find now and the things we can do. But at the same time, I guess I'm just saying, you've been able to experience both in a way. And like I talked to BJ, my team owner, about this all the time. I wish, because he tells me what it's like, and I wish I could have experienced what that was like to live like that without a phone.
Dude, we're not Amish. Like, you understand? Like, this, we had phones, moron. Like, I still did shit.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying...
Experience what?
I don't know. I just feel like it. But you got to remember, I didn't grow up in like five years younger. Okay, so if I was 5 years younger, it'd be a little bit different because I'd be deeper into the millennial age bracket there. But I wish that I could have seen things a little bit more because I really enjoyed it. I like that stuff. I like that when I got my phone, I was 13 years old. Okay, I wish it would have been when I was 17 or 18 going to college. That would have been cool, like to have a touch screen then rather than when I was, like the flip phones going away when I was 12. I wish everything would have been pushed back 5 years in my lifetime.
So you wish you were born in a different generation, basically.
Half of a different generation. Like I was born 96. I wish I was born between 88 and 91.
Still wanted to be younger than me. Couldn't just say 87. Couldn't just say 87. You wanted to make sure.
I didn't know what year you were born. Okay.
What?
I didn't know what year you were born.
You didn't know what year I was born.
But no, I don't know that. I don't carry it with me.
I'm a little hurt by that.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
Anyway.
All right. So it's 8:10. We going? What are we doing? What's happening? You're technically in charge, youngin.
I say we.
You got the stamina, right?
Yeah, I'm okay. We can do whatever.
No, it's okay. We can stop.
Well, what I want to do this week is you guys. We have pitched an idea around of a fan show because we don't have a guest for tomorrow night. So I want the guest to be you. So tomorrow night, I'm proposing that we have at least a half of a fan show, meaning you guys have Q&A for me and Keith, and we talk about different topics based on what you guys have, which we do that. But I want it to be question-driven of, for myself and Keith, what you want to know from us. I think it'd be kind of fun, right?
Well, I'm going to tell you, no one gives a shit about me. So I have a feeling these questions are going to come right at you, which is fine.
Not true.
I appreciate you trying to throw me in that same category.
You're welcome.
You're a dick. All right. So what time will we be back tomorrow, right?
You like that idea? You're just going to keep on insulting it.
No, it's a good idea. I just said I didn't insult you. I agree. In fact, I put you on a pedestal, you idiot.
I'm sitting in a beanbag.
All right. Yeah, close. I don't have anything. I mean, damn.
All right, come back and see us tomorrow at 7 p.m. for a fan Q&A show. If nobody asks questions, we're doing a normal show, so we'll be prepared either way. So please come with questions.
All right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.